Welcome to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, where it's not too late to shine. We bring you transformative information for small business owners, entrepreneurial insight, wisdom, and secrets to aid you to be seen, be heard, and get paid, to catapult your life to more impact, success, and freedom. Now, please welcome your host, the platform builder herself, Dr. Renee Sunday.
Welcome, everybody. This is the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, and I am Dr. Renee Sunday. I am the platform builder. We love it when you come to check on us. But you know what? What we're here to do is bring awareness, education, that we all, I'm included, that we can make wise decisions. So we bring you amazing people that's going to share valuable information that you need to jot down, you need to listen, and guess what? We need to apply it to our life. We have to implement a thing, right? We have to do that in order to be changed, right? And it's a process. I am your host. I am Dr. Renee Sunday, the platform builder, and you know what I do. Guess what I do? I actually help you identify your purpose if you're not aware. And we want to actually build a platform so you can be seen, be heard, and get paid. We do that through a lot of different mediums, from podcasting, media, magazines, television, getting your business solid, and through nonprofits. So a lot of ways that we do that. But the key is to be seen, be heard, and what? Get paid. But we want to stop a minute and say thank you for supporting us in all the things that we do. You download us over on iTunes, you check us out on YouTube, you go to our website, and you support us on social media. So we thank you. You know, I love having guests all the time, but we've been in the green room. My team said, come on, will y'all get started? But I love talking to fellow people with a great heart that actually have a passion for what they do. We have the amazing Makala Taylor here. She started writing poetry at the age of what? 13. You see what I'm saying? She has a love for poetry. We're going to hear all about how she expressed herself through her writing, how she actually, her emotions come out in the things that she writes about. And she is a published author. She's going to tell us about that. And, the thing about what we need to realize is, excuse me, the things that we do from music, from writing, from poetry, we're actually telling a story that we actually letting someone know what's on our heart. So this is what she's going to actually do to us while we have this conversation. But also she's going to tell us how the amazing experience and journey she's had in regards to publishing this. And actually she's going to tell you where you can, you know what the word is, purchase of material, okay, and publications. But we want to welcome to the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, Miss Makala Taylor. Are you there?
Good morning. Yes, I'm here.
Wow, we just thank you for being here. Do us a favor and tell us a little bit more about yourself and the amazing things that's going on in your life.
Well, I have been definitely busy since the last time we spoke. Back then, I think I had published maybe 2 or 3 books by that time. Right now, I'm sitting at 7 books published. You can get all types of poetry from me, everything from the very emotional to the very in-depth. You could get some self-love in there and a little bit of erotica for the ones that are looking for that as well. I also have been in, I guess you could say I've been in production with making my T-shirts and stuff like that. That once I get my website together, I will also be putting that in the works of publication and things like that so people could know where to go get them. I have been on the move. The last time we spoke, I was in Baton Rouge. Now I'm in Tampa, Florida, living my best life. And basically I'm just, I've been doing a lot of open mic nights and trying to get my name out there and let people know that, poetry is here. Poetry is still alive, and, it's okay to express yourself in a very healthy manner, which is through our words. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I've pretty much just been writing. I couldn't stop writing if I wanted to. I'm supposed to be taking this year off from writing, and I want to say since I've taken a sabbatical, I've written a whole new book, I guess you could say. I was supposed to stop at my last book, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send my editor another book, and whatever she do with it, that's what she do with it. She could hold it for a year, or she could, release it this year. But I love poetry. Poetry is my first love, and it's one of those things where, you're either born to do it or you're taught to do it, and I think I was born definitely to be a poet.
I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, did you get what she said? She wanted to stop writing, she can't stop, right? Isn't that amazing? So that's your gift. That's an amazing gift that you have received. So you have to don't stop. Get it. Like I always say. But Makala, let me ask you this though, because what we had said earlier that you started at when you were maybe 13, right? Probably prior to that. But tell us how do you. Because we're expressing how we feel, how emotions, what's going on in our life. Tell us how that actually got started for you, because a lot of people, we have these things that we're going through. We have the emotions, but we have trouble actually putting it on paper, or even, nowadays we can talk it and it goes to paper. But in regards of getting it out of your mind, if you will, or your subconscious, and getting it actually on paper, or getting it in some form of a writing format. Tell us about that, how you actually were able to overcome actually getting it out of your mind.
Well, considering that I grew up adopted and things like that, I went through I suffered 2 childhood traumas. I guess you could consider it that. One was molestation by a family member, and the second thing was, I guess you could say I was sexually assaulted at the age of 14. So it's like those 2 things I held in for a very long time. I didn't tell anybody, not even my mom at the time. So poetry was one of those things that was my escape. It was one of those things where it was almost like a diary, to where I could sit up there and I could write my feelings, my thoughts out on paper, and nobody would judge me about it. Nobody would sit up there and say that it was my fault, or nobody would look down on me, because it was my personal journal. And so the more I wrote, I started realizing that, I had a gift, because I would go back and read it, but I wouldn't recognize the fact that I wrote it myself. I was like, did I write this? And I want to say it was in high school when my English teacher, I forgot her name, but she was such a sweetheart. She was like, you need to put your work out there. You have a gift. And at the time, I was so angry at the world, I didn't want to share my gift with anybody. So I kept it to myself for a very long time. So once I did get the strength within myself to put it out, unfortunately, it was right after my mom passed away, because I wrote a poem for her funeral. And right after the eulogy was read, it was my turn to get up there and read the poem and things like that. And it's amazing, because after the funeral, everybody was like, you know what, we should put you over our knees for making us cry. We was trying to hold it together, but the more you read, we felt it. And I was like, you know what, it's time. It's time to just get out there and stop living in the shadows, stop living in my insecurity, and just put my work out there. Now, I started self-publishing, and my editor would tell you When I gave her my files for my self-publishing before we had reintroduced my books to the world, she was like, "Sweetie, I give you an A for effort, but you did not do these books right, sweetie." But it was the fact that I just wanted to get I wanted to get it out there while it was on my mind, while it was fresh. And the fact that my editor came along and she helped me re-advise my books so I could put them out the right way, it was a blessing in itself. And I'm so grateful for her doing that for me.
I love it. Because the thing about it is, it's amazing when people, it's two things that we want to highlight. One, that she actually shared with you, because it takes a strong person to share with you what needs to be addressed. And number two, that she received it, and you've received the blessings from that because she shared. See, I like people that actually tell me, like, okay, this is not going to do good. We need to redirect this. Let's do plan, not plan A and B, but let's go to C and D.
And that's what she said. She was like, you did good with some of them, but some of them are slightly off centered. Some of them are, using too much paper for this. And like, I was like, okay, well, I received that. Help me, please. Like, I need help.
Well, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. And what we should learn from that, ladies and gentlemen, that it's okay. And, you hear this all the time, but it really is true, that it does take a village. It does take the village, of raising kids. But also in your business, in your journey, if you're a writer, if you even have your own brick and mortar business, if you have your own nonprofit, all of those things, it actually takes a village. Because one thing, let me tell you this on a personal level, you would not see me do a website. Now, I can tell you what I think will be good on the website, but actually getting in there and tinkering, my team fuss at me all the time because I go in there and try to tinker something, and next thing you know, they got to go and fix it. So I've learned, okay? So look at, I've learned to actually make sure I just send them what I think will be best to change and then let them go in and change it. So I'm grateful that you told us about that. And ladies and gentlemen, just point this out as well. It's a journey in writing your poetry. It's a journey in writing your book. The key is starting the process. Don't you think so, Makala? Because so many people don't start the process of actually doing it.
Exactly. And I've seen so many people, like, once I got my foot in the door with my editor and we put, my first 2 books out, I started reaching out to other people that I knew that wrote poetry too. And I'm like, look, we both been sitting up there putting our stuff on Facebook for free. Now it's time for the world to pay for our, not really pay for our gifts, but for the world to know our gifts. And if they want to pay for it, cool. If they don't, at least it's out there, whether it's in a library, whether it's in Barnes & Noble, you're putting your gift out there and you're not holding it to yourself. And I always tell people that it is very important that when God gives you a gift, to unwrap it. Don't just put it somewhere, excuse me, don't just put it somewhere to yourself. He gave you that gift to share with the world. So how dare you have the audacity to keep something that he gave you a purpose to share with the world and keep it to yourself? That's selfish. So, like, I talk to people all the time. I'm like, let your gift shine. The only failure in anything is not trying, and as long as you try, you're winning. Like, what are you doing? So I always have to talk to my friends about this. I'm like, I'll be 40 this year, and I am a late bloomer. But I make no apologies for it because of the simple fact that if I would have started the process of publishing my books when I wanted to publish my books, it would have been done right. Or I would have got signed to a publishing company, and they probably would have butchered my work and made it something that they thought was, proper, but not really heartfelt. So, sometimes you gotta pray on it, and when it's your time, you'll know, because you're gonna feel it in your spirit.
Mm-hmm. And if you continue, I've learned if you if you continue to ignore it, God will send people, and then you'll be like, okay, why I can't sleep because this is all on my mind. So you end up being pushed in. Yes. He has ways of making sure you actually gonna do what he needs you to do, because we need to think bigger. Let me say this quickly. We need to think bigger of ourselves, because our visions, if your vision just takes you, you're not dreaming big enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because our purpose in life is not just for us and for our family. It's actually to make a world impact. So you never know what you're writing, what the purpose. Even, people say, well, I just fix people's hair. Well, no. When we have our hair fixed and we feel good about what we have on, guess what? We have more confidence. We feel better about ourselves. And next thing you know, we'll be in that boardroom, really landing $1 million contract that's going to impact all the kids in the world, because we feel better about ourselves, and we'll be able to express the mission that we have inside. So never belittle the things that you think that your purpose is not as big as somebody else you see all on social media, on TV. All of us have a purpose, and all of us have a lot to give. I'm sorry I had to say that, but because some people think that, it makes a difference, and we need to realize that we're a part of this amazing things that's going on in our life.
I know that's right. It definitely is. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. For anyone, tell us, let's stop here a minute and let's circle back a minute. Because you briefly said about the T-shirt line and then the poetry. Tell us a little bit more about, of course we feel in how you're speaking to us that is motivational, inspirational. But tell us about some of the pieces, and if you're at liberty of saying how that's going to stem over into your T-shirt brand.
Well, my poetry and my T-shirt brand, honestly, is two separate things. I'm a mesh them together eventually, but my T-shirt brand is more along the lines of different. Like one has my blog talk, Fast Life on the Move trademark name on it, and the other one has a name on it from one of my poems that I written a long time ago. But my poetry, I feel as though my poetry and my T-shirt line will eventually mesh together in the way of I have so many inspirational quotes that I always say on a daily, or I always post on my Facebook, and it always resonates with someone. And you can always tell when something resonates with somebody because it's shared more than 5 times. If something is shared more than 5 times, somebody got the message, and it didn't take no time after they liked your post. That's just like I always tell people, it can't be too many hands in the pot, because you'll never know what's going in and what's coming out. And people always would sit up there and take that quote. They was like, huh? What is you saying? I'm like, that means when you're in a situation, if it's supposed to be 2 people in a situation, you cannot allow outside individuals to come in and put hands in that situation, or it's going to either go left or it's going to go off. Either way it go, it's not going to go the way that it's supposed to go, because the 2 people that's in the situation is supposed to solve their problems themselves within the whole unit. So with my poetry, especially with my self-motivation poems and I call it self-love poems, I try to put out the message that The moment that you let society label who they think you should be, or the way that you should talk, or the way that you should act, is the moment that you lose yourself. You lose that light that always helps people find the shine that is within you. But the moment that you live your truth, and you live it abundantly and out loud and proud, that is the moment that people learn you. And they either going to accept you or they not. It's not your job to make somebody to accept who you are. And that's one of the things that I write about. Another thing is dealing with society, the way they treat, homeless people. I have a poem that's called Focus. And this particular poem is dealing with the fact that people are focused on the wrong thing. You focus on getting $100 shoes when they got somebody that barely have shoes on their feet. You focus on the fact that, you don't want to eat the same leftovers day after day, but they have people that don't even have nothing to eat. So it's like, I write so much stuff, and it amazes me to the point to where I was stuck in the same lane of writing the same stuff for a very long time, until I had a mentor that came to me, and she was like, are you telling a story, or are you just writing to be writing? Because if you're writing to be writing, you could, anybody could do that. But I need you to dig deeper. And once I started digging deeper into things that I saw around me, especially around the time that they was doing all these police brutality shootings and things like that, I wrote a poem in dedication to Alton Sterling. And I think that is the most that I've ever written as far as eye-opening. Like, I don't think anybody really followed that story because, for one thing, I was in Baton Rouge at the time when it happened. And the fact that it was so close to home, I was like, wow. For the longest time, I was like, well, that would never happen in Baton Rouge, but it did. And the fact that it happened in Baton Rouge, at the time and the climate that it did, I was like, this world has truly lost its mind. And we definitely, I think that year is the first year that I've ever seen my city pull together like that. Because people so busy on the go, they don't really pay attention to each other's trials or tribulations or things like that. And I had to sit up there, I looked at the news every day, and I'm like, I am so proud of my city because we're coming together. You saw everybody. So eventually what I plan on doing later on is with my T-shirt line, it's going to have a lot of motivational quotes. It's going to have a lot of inspirational quotes. It's going to definitely have a lot of funny quotes because I'm not serious all the time. So it's definitely going to have funny quotes as well. But I just want people to realize that while they are sitting here running around like a chicken with their head cut off, pointing fingers and things like that, at the end of the day, if the world, God forbid or whatever, if the world or the earth was to explode tomorrow, it's not going to just be one type of people left living. Everybody's going. So I'm still trying to figure out why or how does people even have the mindset of not realizing that you're under an umbrella that could easily blow away tomorrow and you're going to get wet with everybody else.
That's right. Wow. Girl, you ain't said it. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, well, you gotta actually. She's gonna tell us how we can actually get her publications and connect with her. But your stuff is the real, the stuff that people don't wanna. They act like they don't wanna talk about, but stuff that actually needs to be talked about. And this is a young lady that's saying this, and that's what we actually need. We need to not try to avoid it. We actually need to actually talk about it, have a conversation, and be respectful of each other, having a different opinion or having the same opinion.
Mhm. And there's nothing wrong with having different opinions. It's just all about, like my mom used to tell me all the time, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Everybody deserves respect, no matter what the age is, or the color or the whatever. Everybody deserves respect. And I try to live my life that way. And when I write, I try to keep that in mind that, everybody that read my books is not going to like it. They're not going to agree with the content that's in it. But that is okay, because at the end of the day, everybody is put here on this earth to do one thing. And as long as you do that one thing before your eyes close eternally, then you served your purpose.
That's right. Lord Jesus. But girl, Lord, she got me going. Now, time goes by so quickly here. Makala, please, any last minute things you want to share with us, and then please tell us how we can get your publications, and also tell us how we can support you in social media with the amazing things that you're doing.
Okay. Well, I normally do what I consider a thought of the day. So I'm going to just leave the listeners with my thought of the day for the day. And that is, when you open your eyes, are you living just to breathe, or are you breathing to exist? Because trust and believe, there is totally a difference in the two. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Y'all can follow me on Instagram at author_Makala_Taylor. You can also follow me on Twitter, author_Makala. I also have a YouTube page, which is under Makala Taylor. And I have a Facebook business page, which is under Makala Taylor. So any of those venues you can follow me on. I also have MP3 playbacks on Reverb Nation and SoundCloud. And you can purchase my books on Amazon.com, or you could go to alieniteprofessionals.com and purchase them there. So that's where y'all can find me.
I love it. Well, first of all, we want to thank you for being in your purpose, but also we want to thank you for taking time out your busy schedule of being a guest here with us on the Dr. Renee Sunday Show. If you need us for anything, please don't hesitate to contact us.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure, and thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, she's so powerful, I can't wait to, yes. Just play back what she said. It just made me just go into a high gear, okay? But, the thing about it is everyone has a voice. You have a voice. So, and everyone has a purpose, like she said. What are you doing? It's time out, and I'm not belittling fear, because I had to go through that myself. It takes the whole village. So get someone, accountability partner. It can be someone in your family, but a lot of times it's actually somebody out of your family. And if that person hurt you, listen, come on. Let's keep moving forward, because some people do have their own motives. So just keep moving forward. That's all I got to say, because I've been there, okay? All right, I got the T-shirt, as they say, from it, okay, and a bag of chips and all that they used to say about it. But what we need to do is keep moving forward, because somebody right now is praying for you. Somebody right now is praying to see which way they need to go, and you have the answer. So we actually need to make sure we move forward. You know, if we can help you with anything here at the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, let us know. You know, I'm a certified anesthesiologist, board certified anesthesiologist, so we know mental health is real. So you want to chat, I can get you to somebody, or we can chat. I'm a counselor myself. We actually need to help, and this ain't confidential. None to be on social media. Amen. Okay. And if you want to be a guest on our podcast, start your own podcast. Finally, write that book. Start your own magazine or TV show. Business tips and strategies, or you want to launch your podcast, get in contact with us. Our contact information is reneesunday.com, which is RENEE Sunday, SUNDAY.com. We want you to please remember, you do have a calling, you do have a reason you were born. You're not a mistake. No matter what you think, no matter what someone has already told you or telling you right now, you're not a mistake. We have to do three things. We have to believe, we have to trust, and we have to walk it out. And you know what we got to do. We got to don't stop. Say it with me. Get it, right? And what are we getting? We're getting our purpose and getting our purpose now. Amen? Yeah, we're going to say amen to that, okay? Yes, okay? But we'll see you guys next time. We love you so much here at the Dr. Renee Sunday Show, and we'll see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.